I didn't picture sitting here a year ago. Honestly, I thought I would have been dead, and I was ready for it. I was okay with it. For me, community or just not being alone was getting drunk and messed up with people, random people at a fire pit in a park. That was my community. You know, when I got sober and I started following Jesus, I found out what true community actually is. Moved down to Christie Pits. I was out there every night. I was in that park faithfully. After work, I'd go straight there in my work clothes still. I'd stop at the beer store on the way, end up in the Christie Pits Park. I'd be down there hanging out with people that I thought were my friends, just using drugs and drinking together and hanging out at the fireplace. Right? And that was my routine for a good year. Just darkness,
So I met Ryan when I was at Christie Pits Park with a bunch of ladies from church, and we were just diving into the Word. We were hanging out, and it was a little bit later in the evening, and we had all sat down and just kind of dived into talking about some topics. And up walks this guy wearing some new sneaks and carrying a bottle, and I didn't know what to think, but he asked to start a fire, and so we invited him to start the fire and hang out with us. And he promised to be quiet, but I couldn't help myself and started asking so many questions. And at one point he just broke down crying, sobbing actually. And he just poured out his heart and told us his story. And God spoke to me very clearly the word freedom over his life. And so I blessed him with that, and he sobbed even harder. And I just knew that it would mean something for the rest of his life. And it totally has so far. That's kind of how we met.
So you had come home all excited telling me about this guy that you met in the park, and I almost half didn't believe it, but we tried to connect with him, and it just turns out that the day it worked out, the first time for all of us to hang out, was October 2020, exactly on my birthday. And so, well, it took us a little bit to figure out where he was, and we couldn't really figure it out, so we just all piled in the car, you, me, the two kids, and we went to go find him, and eventually we did find him outside Sobeys, like just out of his mind, stumbling all over the place with his guitar and a bag of groceries because he didn't want to come empty-handed. And he was a total mess. He was a mess there, he was a mess in our house, but we just made it work, and the kids loved it. We played music together, we ate food together, and it was just him getting a little taste of community then, and we just kept inviting him deeper and deeper in to experience more and more and more of God's community, and we went from there.
Community has helped me figuring it out who I am too, in a sense. I still got a lot to figure out, 24 years of abuse, and I'm being reborn. Like I'm basically going from being a child to brand new again. They built me up. They made me part of their community. They're showing me what community is about. They're teaching me. No matter how dark it gets, no matter how down you feel, there's always hope.